What would you say if I told you that the Detroit Wolverines, that's right, at that point they were known as Detroit Wolverines of the National League, made the biggest trade in National League history for just only $4,700. So let's go back a little bit, right? So in 1886, the Detroit Wolverines were on the rise. Dude, they were on a trajectory upwards, right? They were one of the biggest and baddest teams in the National League. They were still chasing the Chicago White Stockings, right? But previously for that, they had purchased 4 players from Buffalo, right? They were trying to make this team the biggest team, the baddest team, the best lineup, all that, right? So what they do is they bought 4 players. Again, it was Brothers, Richardson, Rowe, and White. Not bad. Pretty cool, right? Like, I mean, this thing was a powerhouse lineup, okay? So fast forward a little bit to August 6th of 1886. Detroit goes and does something crazy. They make the biggest purchase of one player in National League history for $4,700. His name is Fred Dunlap. He was the best second baseman of the National League. Not bad. Pretty cool, right? This dude wasn't just any players. By the way, his nickname, Sure Shot. This dude was a great hitter, best defensive second baseman, right? Cool. Why does it matter, Ed? I'm like, whatever, right? So this is what happened. So Dunlap moves to second. They put Richardson in the outfield, a much balanced defensive lineup. Not bad. Already they have a powerhouse batting lineup. So that's not bad at all. Pretty cool. Then they start on their trajectory again. They're all the way up, but they start tearing it up, right? They almost catch up to the Chicago White Stockings for the pennant. They didn't, but they were pretty close. Now we go to 1887, right? And they accomplish it, right? They go with the help of Dunlap again. Biggest purchase of one player in National League history, $4,700, $160,000 right now in today's money, right? They go on to win their first and last World Series. No joke. It was their championship, the only one. They beat the St. Louis Browns, get this, 10 games to 5. Back then, it was a much larger series. Today, it's only 7, right? Best of 7. But back then, it was only, they had to win that 10 games, right? 10 to 5. Not bad. A $4,700 investment in 1886 gets them over the hump, surpasses the Chicago White Sox, and then they go on to beat the St. Louis Browns in the championship 10 games to 5 in 1887. Not bad. Because, guys, it's the more you know. Go out there, make this day your bitchin', hit that like and subscribe button.